What's going on, family? It's your man Mami Patron here for another video. Like always, coming to you from beautiful Medellin, Colombia. Guys, in this video, what I'm going to be sharing with you is the 20-80 rule. Now, you may have heard of this rule, but this rule applies to online courses. And I'm going to be talking about breaking down why is it 20% creation and why is it 80% marketing and sales, all right? So if you're watching this video, it's because you're thinking about creating a course, you have an online course, you want to sell a course, you want to create a course, or somewhere in that course, creation process, launching process. So I'm going to be giving you some major tips. Now, these tips right here are going to save you tons of time and tons of money. So let's hop inside and let me break it down for you. That way you don't make these mistakes and you make money and you save your time. You see this? This is called the golden ticket. Right here, the golden ticket, right? Golden $100 bill. In this video, I'm gonna be giving you the golden ticket, right? The difference between making money selling online courses or not making money. And it comes down to this. I talked about it, and I talk about this a lot on my YouTube channel, but I wanted to make a video specifically about this. I might even make more videos about this. What I talk about is if you're thinking about creating an online course, if you're thinking about selling, launching, if you already have one, you want to make more sales, this key is important. I've never heard anybody talk about this. This is just something because I've heard of Pareto's principle. You may have heard of this, which is the 80-20% of the rules. 80-20 rule, which is 20% of your efforts will produce 80% of your results, right? You may have heard this around, but I applied this to online courses and it made so much sense. Now, how did I even come up with this rule? What is this rule exactly? The rule is when you're creating an online course, creating and launching, it's 20% creation, 80% how you market and sell it. All right, now I got some tips here right here to validate that statement right there. When it comes to online courses, I would talk to people over and over again, and they would have online courses, whether it was Udemy, hosting their own course, whatever it was. And a lot of them made no sales. They told me how much time they put into this, editing and all this kind of crap, and they made no freaking sales. And I was like, damn, like people focus so much on the creation part of it and not the marketing and the sales. Where me, I always focus on sales. Whenever I was starting my Facebook ads agency or selling my first course on Facebook ads, whatever it was, I always focused on collecting the money first, making sure I validated the offer, and then went ahead and created the content around that. Now, this was before I hopped into content like Sam Ovens and Dan Henry and people like this that taught me about pre-selling. Every dollar that I've made ever in my life online has been about a pre-sell. A pre-sell meaning I sold the idea, right? Because I've always been in the information business, selling my consulting, selling my experience, whether or selling an online course, whatever it is, selling knowledge. I've always collected the money first, validated that people wanted, and then went and learned how to do it, right? Or went and created the content around it, whichever stage I was in my business. I want to give you some valuable tips here that you could take away that really can get you going, really get your sales rocking for your online course, really get you in the right mindset, because you have to be in the right mindset in order to get your course making money, in order to get you up and running, all right? So why do we focus on marketing and sales at the 80%? Because we want something called proof of concept. Proof of concept is validation that people actually want your course, right? What good is having a course, spending all this money, and then nobody wants to buy it? Right? That is a recipe for disaster. So that's why we want to focus on pre-selling and making sure that before we create anything, I've raised over $25,000 in pre-sales for courses that I hadn't created anything. I had no website, no membership site, no logo, nothing. Just an idea communicated to a person. They like the idea, they send me money, right? And then I fulfill and deliver that content to them, right? It's because I wanted to get proof of concept, validation, right? And so another tip to why we focus on 80%, which is the marketing and sales aspect of the business, is we get to generate immediate income. That is so important, that we need immediate income when we're launching our course. Now, it's not because you need the money right away, it's because you need cash flow coming into a business. When you're just launching an online course, you need cash flow. You need validation quickly that this is actually an idea that people want. And so that's why we want to pre-sell it and focus on the 80% of our course, which is marketing and selling of our product, of our course. And so because we can generate income immediately. The next one is we get to refine our marketing message. When we focus on the marketing and sales and not so much the creation, when I mean the creation, I mean focusing on like the membership site, focusing on a website, focusing on a logo, focusing on what actual content is. Now, this stuff is important, but it's not the most important. And I'll be sharing with you where this stuff sits in here, okay, in a second. But you don't want to focus on that right away, because when you focus on the marketing side, you get to learn your marketing message, right? What is your marketing message? The way in which you communicate your offer to your dream customer. Right, the way you communicate your offer and your transformation to your dream customer. You get to refine that. When you're focusing on the marketing and the sales part of it, you get to refine what is it that your customers want, what is it they don't want, what did you say that didn't produce a sale, what did you say that did produce a sale. So when you start getting in the field and start playing catch, and some people drop the ball, some people catch the ball, some people throw the ball back, right? Which is a sale, they throw the ball back. You get to say, this is what my market wants. This is what they want. They don't want this. They don't want that. You get to make these adjustments. Now, research helps, but when you begin talking to the market via email, via social media, via directly talking to them, in direct message, you get to refine this. So when I built my first program, I started noticing that people wanted to focus more on the creation side, or more, they wanted to focus on building an audience. So then I knew what to talk about. So the next time I sold the program, it's like, damn, I was waiting for this, but they didn't know the tons of people I went through prior, because I was focusing on my marketing message, right? The next one is you get to focus on student results, right? When you focus on the 80% of marketing and sales over the 20% in creation, you get to produce great results for your students. Now, what does that mean? Because you're not focusing on the tech. So many times when I talk about, when I talk to people when they're trying to create an online course, they're focusing on, DeAndre, what site should I use? Teachable? Should I use ClickFunnels? Should I use Kajabi? Should I use this? Should I use that? What email should I use? And it's like, none of that even matters. The only thing that matters is producing a transformation for your student in the least friction possible. You can put your course in a freaking Facebook group on YouTube. It doesn't even matter. But if you produce those student results and not focus on the tech aspect of your course creation, you're able to produce something that's really produces great results for your students, right? So being student results oriented. The next thing is, when you focus on 80% marketing and pre-selling, you are gonna teach it live, okay? Because when you pre-sell a course and you focus on marketing, which is the 80%, you're gonna teach it live, right? Why do you want to teach your online course, your very first online course, live? It's called a seed launch. Why do you want to do that live? It's because you get to, there's a couple reasons. You get to master your teaching skills about your offer, whatever your topic is, because you might be a master of what it is that you do, whatever you want to create a course around, but being a master and being able to teach mastery is completely two different things, right? You have to be able to communicate in a proper way that your customers can understand from the bare bones and be able to get them to that transformation. Remember, people do not buy coaching, people do not buy online courses, they buy transformation. And you have to be able to communicate communicate in an efficient way, so your customers that have no idea what you're doing, you're able to get them from their desired situation, you get them from their current situation to their desired situation in a timely fashion through your communication. So when you teach it live, you're able to communicate with your customers and get immediate feedback, right? So you master teaching skills and you get immediate feedback. So if your students get stuck, they don't understand something, if you go through something, they're like, dude, I don't understand what the hell you just said. Great thing you got that feedback live. Imagine if you would have spent 2 months creating all these videos and then you find out nobody can understand what the hell you're saying, right? That was wasted time. But when you teach it live, you can make an adjustment. You're like, you know what, guys? Sorry, we're gonna redo this lesson. Let's do it right now. Boom, boom, boom. Do you guys understand that? Yes? Good. So now you learned a way to communicate so that your customers understand how to get from point A to point B. So that's why you want to teach it live, and that's why we want to focus on the 80% marketing and sales part. And then you're systems oriented, right? You're system oriented. When you're focusing on sales and marketing, you're systems oriented. When I mean systems, you're thinking about your funnel. You're thinking about your sales system. You're thinking about how you're closing sales. You're thinking about your webinar script, your ads, and how can you get sales rolling in without you physically having to be there? Because when you focus so much on the tech aspect and this thing and that thing, you're not thinking systems, you're thinking like an employee. We want to think like a business owner. We want to think like an investor. We want to be in that quadrant. Business owner thinks in systems. So when you focus on sales and marketing aspect of your course, you get to focus on your systems and how you produce sales, right? Because more sales equals more customers through your business, right? That means you gather more testimonials. That means you get to refine your marketing message even more. The best way to produce a better course is to get more students in your course. How can you produce a better course sitting in your room isolated from your market? It doesn't happen that way. You have to be in the marketplace. You have to be in there making adjustments, failing, getting better, taking feedback, and making those iterations to improve a great product. And then the more sales you produce, the more student results you're able to produce, the more testimonials you can gather, and the better you can refine your product, because you can't refine a product that doesn't get sold, that just sits on your web posting platform or whatever it is, all right? Cash flow is the most important thing when you're launching your course, right? Cash flow, getting validation that people want it, producing student results. Once you get that stuff going and refining your marketing message, then that 20%, then we can go focus. Should we use Teachable, Kajabi? Because guess what? Your students will not buy your course because it's on Teachable over Kajabi. They will not buy your course because your logo is red over green. They're not gonna buy that. Remember, people do not buy your course, they buy your transformation. And the way you refine your transformation is by refining your marketing message and producing a great results and great testimonies for your students. And the way you do that is getting more students, focusing on sales, focusing on systems, and making sure that you are on the 80-20 rule. 80% marketing and sales, 20% course creation and how to do it. Guys, hope you got a lot of value from this. I have some resources in the description below if you want to dive a little bit deeper. I have a free ultimate online course guide if you want a little bit more details on it. Other than that, always coming for you with value. Miami Patron signing out.